Good Friday. It's a free-for-all Friday. And boy, do we have a lot of stuff lined up today. Yes, we've got giveaways. We've got a chance for you to win $1,000. You can qualify for that. We've got Shea Garden tickets to give away. And there's 4 tickets left for the El Segal Shrine Circus. But if you want those, you're going to have to be here at the studio by 4 o'clock to pick those up. So, a lot to talk about, a lot to do today. And, guys, I just sent something over in our Slack about over in Italy, the Italian mayor is offering free goats to anyone who can catch them.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So, hold on. I haven't read this story yet. Are the goats just running rampant? And so this is a way of eliminating them from that particular area? They just want them hauled out?
Yeah, I haven't had.
They're on an Italian island, and they're attempting to solve an animal overpopulation problem. So it's free goats for anyone who can go and catch them.
Oh my God!
And maybe there'll be a screaming goat in there.
I'm sure most of them are. And if you are a fan of goat milk, goat cheese, etc., this seems right up your alley. If all of a sudden one of you is gone for an extended amount of time over the weekend, I'm going to be a little suspect who went to go get the goat for the show. A little concerned.
Gotta get the goat to Buddy.
Okay, we have a mascot. Remember, I have a listener who gave me a little Highlander cow. He's in the weather office. I just haven't been back to bring him in studio with us. So once I can, I will be putting him up on the desk with us because our new little Highlander, I can't remember. I think Dean wants to name him Guinness. I said I'm going to name him Cooper. But either way, we're getting we got a mascot already.
Wonderful. Boy, wow. What a beautiful day out. Have you guys had a chance to really step outside and just soak it in?
Yeah,
nope,
I was outside for an hour and a half already.
Oh man, it is beautiful outside. We're at 60 degrees right now. Wind's not that strong. Ooh. Winds will be picking up though by later this afternoon, and we're looking at temperatures today topping out into the low 60s. Some spots could easily get into the mid 60s today. So just a beautiful, beautiful day. Our record today is in the low 80s. So obviously we're nowhere near that, but just a beautiful day out there. For tonight, we'll see a few clouds come into the area, and we're looking at temperatures holding into the mid to upper 30s with those winds increasing out of the southeast at about 15 to 30, and just a downright windy day tomorrow. South winds blowing, gusting 40 to 50, and there's probably going to be a problem with the blowing dirt, blowing dust, especially in the open areas tomorrow, so keep that in mind. But a mild one, low 60s again, and then clouds come in tomorrow night. And light rain showers enters the picture as we head into Sunday and Monday. Now, we could mix in a few wet snowflakes. Wouldn't surprise me Sunday morning as that precip starts to fall. So we'll keep an eye on that. But it doesn't look like a lot of precip, about a quarter inch from the 94 corridor southward. But if you're heading northward towards the Northern Valley, not much at all. We got a caller on line one. It's our wonderful and we haven't heard from him in a long time. John, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. We were worried about you. We haven't heard from you in quite some time. It's been quiet.
Well, I've been busy.
Doing what?
I've been building stuff.
I'm like, you're not selling snowblowers. I know that.
Are you building a pergola?
Maybe. Have you looked out on the back deck lately?
Perhaps I
feel free to put it up.
The corner and looked.
Actually, I'm building a goat pen. Send me the coordinates for those goats. I'm going to go get them.
Yeah, we can definitely send you the coordinates for that.
Have as many as you'd like. Stop playing that.
Hey, goats are awesome. They're awesome.
For what?
Well, you can train them to do stuff, unlike sheep. You can train goats to do things. Yes,
not really.
Sure you can. You can jump off roofs. I saw goats that used to climb up on the roofs.
It's all about attitude, Bridgette. It's all in how you control the goat versus you letting the goat control you.
I'm positive that the goat would meet a rather nefarious end if given the chance by me.
Just give him a cigarette.
Well, that's another use for a goat. I mean, I'm not saying people don't do that. From the Mediterranean, that's kind of Mediterranean. That's kind of a normal staple of the diet,
It is. Absolutely it is. That's how the goats got out of hand.
You can milk them. You can make cheese. You can get them to mow the lawn. Just saying, goats are handy. Goats under the equipment. I'm going to go get us some goats.
Thanks for trying, John. Appreciate
John, it. All right. John, thanks for calling. Have a great weekend. And I know John's wishing we get some snow. Somebody asked me that the other day, are we done with snow? And Justin thinks yes. I said no. Bridgette, you want to chime in on that? You think we're done with snow?
I don't think I said we were done with snow.
I asked you if you wanted to place a bet, and you said no.
I said no because you want to make bets that are too expensive.
Well, but that's how you win. It's a bit,
I told you I'm not betting $100.
Well, it's borrow 50 from.
Sorry, we don't get paid the same you do, Dean. I can't afford $100 on a bet.
Borrow 50 from Bridgette.
No.
I bet John would loan you.
Sorry, Dean. I don't have a gambling problem.
I'm trying to increase your paycheck.
You're trying to increase your own.
No, I don't.
What's the weather look like? Because you said it was nice outside, guys.
It is gorgeous.
Okay, it's gorgeous. It's going to last for a while. We're very happy with it. You said it's going to be windy all weekend, but I have a question that relates to that because I was asked some questions earlier this morning about where we're going to see more precip coming, and I think we're past the point of getting any real snowfall. Now it's all just going to be in rainfall, correct? So I don't have to think about snow anymore. John doesn't have to sell me a snowblower, et cetera, right?
I wouldn't rule out the possibility of snow.
We'll see more snow. It is April. We'll see more.
Okay.
Now, do we
I'm keeping that in mind.
Do we see enough to use a snowblower or shovel? Probably not. No, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see one more storm. We've got one or two towards the middle and latter part of the month. We'll see.
Man, I hate the GFS.
I know.
Did you look at that?
I did look at it.
The American computer model. Yeah.
It's so far off, but it's been consistent over the last few runs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. No snow this weekend outside of a few wet flakes mixed in.
Addison saying the other day something about one last hoorah of winter.
He was wanting that.
I always want
that.
Right?
Wanted that.
I love snow. I'm a snow guy.
Even now that we're dipping our toes into spring.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
No.
It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, like I always say, the snow's going to melt really quickly, even if we get a few inches of snow to stick on the ground.
It's time to put away the snow boots and start wearing the Red Wing work boots, because Red Wing shoes, thank you again to them. For those who want to, please interject in this conversation today. You can do it on our Red Wing shoe line. 701-293-9000.
I think you just need to embrace it at this point, Bridgette.
That we've lost absolute all control?
I wouldn't say it's control. So,
Justin, I even sent you some... There you go. I sent Justin gardening tips this morning. I'm so much looking forward to spring. He got 9 home gardening hacks that I sent over, and one of them specifically thought of you when I saw it, and that was if you have little kids in the yard and you're afraid that they're going to wander off while you're diligently working in the garden, attach a bell to them so you can hear the bell ring when the kids run around.
I'm just going to hook them up to the dog leash, tie him around the tree.
Even better.
Let him just run around the yard. He's got like 30 feet in either direction he can go.
Oh, man. Wow, Justin. Well, it's that time. Thank goodness. It's time to hear from the American Ag Network when we come back.
We got 40 more minutes of this, guys.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll touch on some ag topics.
We do.
We also
got a lot.
Yeah, and wait for that sounder. That sounder of Jay Thomas giving away his money. We'll have that during the show. When you hear Jay's voice, Jay's sounder, third caller, 701-293-9000, will get entered to possibly win $1,000. Not too shabby. So we'll have that and more tickets for the El Zagel Shrine Circus to give away. All of that and more coming up right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
And welcome back to Weather Nag and Focus. Thank you for joining us. We're going to try real hard to focus this go around. Somebody took the goat away from Dean so that we don't continue the goat. Rats, it's back. Okay, so people are so excited. They're screaming like that when they go to mortonbuildings.com/careers in order so that they can try to make a job change. And their jobs are upward. They can get job skills right on the job. They can have upward mobility. This is a 100% employee-owned company. Great pay, great benefits, such as quarterly bonuses, trips to Jamaica, and more, and pay on bad weather days. Check them out, mortonbuildings.com/careers. For many farmers, they have made a career out of agriculture. But when we generally think of a farmer, most folks, it comes to mind, it's a guy in overalls and a pitchfork. That hasn't been the case for a long time. Farming has improved and changed tremendously. In fact, in the U.S., 30% of farms are owned and operated by women. So back when we had a National Ag Day on March 19th, Dean had Paul Harvey's So God Made a Farmer. There's a new version. And I was kind of waiting on this. I was hoping I would have had it back there by March 19th. and we didn't. We finally got approval to be able to show this now from the estate of the former broadcasters. So what I'd like to do is, hopefully this works. Addison is trying to cue it up for us, but it is the Farm Her version of God Made a Farmer. So Addison, do you think you can get that to roll for us?
Down on his vast expanse and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need a person who can wake up at the crack of dawn, organize children, order animal feed and pasture seed, prepare 3 meals and 2 snacks, shear sheep, and drive her brood and the neighbors to the local 4-H club meeting. So God made a farmer. I need a person with hands tough enough to saddle a stubborn mare, but gentle enough to cradle a dying kitten. Someone to create vision, make critical decisions, communicate a credible plan, and negotiate a contract with men who think they belong elsewhere. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody who will sit up all night with a sick calf and watch it die, bury it, and work to keep the rest of the herd from illness. I need somebody who can make a loaf of bread, swing an axe, clean a chicken, plant seed, drive a grain cart, and haul pigs to the sale yard, and then run to the local hospital to care for the sick and dying. So God made a farmer. God had to have someone willing to bring meals to the field, grain to the elevator, in-laws to the doctors, and race against the impending storm, and yet will halt any task to help dry the eye of her hurting neighbor. So God made a farmer. God said, I need someone who can pay the bills, sell the produce, call the vet, power wash the cedar, and train even the most reluctant fool, but who will stop at nothing to ensure her children learn the value of hard work. It had to be somebody who would nurture when others said it was a waste, who would stand toe-to-toe in a man's world and plant her seed, tend her field, harvest her crop, and finish off a hard week's work by volunteering at the Ag Society's fundraiser. Somebody who would hold the family legacy, laugh deeply, and with tender eyes let her daughter know she can do the same. So God made a farmer.
Huge thank you to the Paul Harvey Foundation for giving permission, as well as the National Farmers Mental Health Alliance for building this.
That was awesome. And if you're not live streaming it, our one and only talented ag director, Bridgette Readel, was in that clip as well. So
I got to help as we put that together and shared some things with it. But the folks in Ontario at National Farmers Mental Health Alliance, specifically Dr. Lauren Van Wyck, she asked for some assistance, and that was a great project. So glad we finally get to share it now that we have permission to do so. It was excellent.
Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's super cool.
Well, we've been lacking on hitting ag topics this week, Bridgette. We should probably tackle a couple of those before we get to the bottom of the hour.
Wow, we have many. So yesterday we started out, but we didn't necessarily get very far into the insulin producing cow. Ready? Okay.
Yeah, let's hear what's going on with this.
So this is going on in Brazil, but they're also doing some work with an animal science department at University of Illinois. And really, they're calling it a transgenic cow. Okay, hold on. Let's not make fun of that yet. I know you guys are thinking some things there. Okay. But this cow is capable of producing human insulin in her milk. Mother Nature really designed the mammary gland as a factory to make protein, and it's very, very efficient. So what they've been able to do with very specific DNA splicing is take the proinsulin, the protein precursor of the active form of insulin. They've been able to insert it into the cow's DNA. There is not human DNA floating around in the cow. Let's clarify that right now. But by using this DNA-specific construct to the mammary tissue, it means there's the ability for the mammary gland's capabilities to produce large quantities of the protein for insulin, which in areas of the world where insulin is scarce or expensive, this could be an opportunity for the dairy cow to provide medication for diabetics worldwide. So we'll see how this progresses. But I thought that's pretty cool. We got pigs saving hearts, cows saving diabetics. We got a little bit of it all.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's super cool. How long did you say they've been working on this?
I think it's been going on for quite some time. I don't think we're quite close to commercialization yet because really they've just begun to do the successful work where the insulin was being produced in the milk. Now it'll take some time to replicate, etc. But there are opportunities there. Yeah, it's great to see those things happening.
Wow.
Well, kind of sticking along the same lines then. Why don't we hit on the paralysis after calving?
Well, okay. Most people don't think about that, but there really can be some of those major complications that happen after calving occurs. One of the things to think about is simply the fact that with cattle, if you're not pairing your bull very well with your cows, especially if you have like a young new heifer, you can have some oversized calves that cow is trying to birth. When that happens, you can literally see problems with the nervous system, the sciatic nerve, and others. Vets get called for this when they have a downer cow. If there's no improvement that's made in probably that 14 to 21 day period, it's not going to happen. And at that point, many times the cow has to be euthanized. But prior to that, there's about a 50-50 shot of getting that cow to walk again. With the nervous system, the majority of those nerve injuries happen in the hind limbs. And so it's pretty complicated. Again, a lot of this can rely on having the right bull to bring along the right birth weight for that cow. And then also making sure the calves are not in the birth canal too long, as that prolonged pressure will cause the nerve damage. The sciatic nerve in a cow is in lumbar 6 through sacrum 2. Fun fact, write that down. Maybe someday you'll need to know that at trivia night, you guys. But when that happens, that sciatic nerve will knuckle the fetlocks and drop their hocks. And so sometimes they'll be okay, not always. Cows may not always be able to come back from that. But with this nerve paralysis, you need to get them out of the elements, someplace where they can get solid footing. Like if you're on a concrete pad or anything like that, sometimes their feet can slip. You want to make sure that they have the best possible way to get up. Steroids and anti-inflammatory drugs can help in some cases, but not in all. So vets tell you to be on the lookout for those types of things, just in case paralysis could occur. So again, things you don't always think about that happen with dairy and beef animals, right? Some of that could be paralysis. Who knew?
Wouldn't have thought about it. Have you heard much from people out there that are going through calving right now on how things are going? I'd imagine it's been a lot better than it was last year.
Calving's been a lot better this year. In fact, people have felt that it's pretty comforting. We only had a couple of nights with really low temperatures that could have led to frozen ears or tails, but generally speaking, we've had a great calving season. One concern is if we continue to be dry and have dusty areas, calves being lower to the ground can get that dust in their lungs and develop a dust pneumonia. So we're going to try to avoid that situation and keep an eye on those calves so they don't run into those problems. Also, this is the time of the year that they're keeping an eye on tagging the calves. Won't be long until you're doing vaccinations on them, getting them ready to go out to pasture because grass is greening up soon, right, guys? We'll be in pasture before you know it.
Notice our grass is starting to green up a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still dead and brown, but there's a little green that's starting to poke out in between all the dead heaps of grass. I don't know about your guys' yards, but starting to turn a little green up here in Grand Forks.
Yeah, mine's totally brown. There's nothing.
Hey, get out!
Yours was
get
brown
out there
last
and
summer.
thatch
You didn't
it.
water it.
Yeah.
You can use like a thatcher or like even just a fine tooth harrow and run it across there to drag the dead plant material off and get the green grass to come along.
See, I think that's
the neighbor and go ahead, Dean.
I was just gonna say that's on my list for tomorrow. That's raking the front lawn and kind of try to aerate that out a little bit before the rain hits.
Depending on the wind direction, based on speed, it'll wind up at Justin's house after you do it.
Probably will.
It very well would. Darn it, Dean. Yeah, our backyard neighbor has got a Thatcher attachment for his tractor, so next time I see him out there, I'm going to ask him if I can buy him a case of beer or something to go run it through our yard. And I don't see why you wouldn't say no, but you never know, I guess.
All right. Well, guys, it's the bottom of the hour, so let's pay some bills here real quick. And when we come back, we'll hit on some more ag topics. And again, be listening for that J. Thomas sounder for your chance to get qualified to win $1,000. Who doesn't need that, right? Are we eligible for that?
Right.
Justin?
Absolutely nobody.
Okay.
Everyone's fine.
Okay. All right.
Everybody's completely fine right now.
All right. We'll have that and more when we come back. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:35 in the afternoon, 60 degrees. Winds are starting to pick up now out of the southeast, blowing about 20. So we'll continue to see those winds increase as well over the next 24 to 36 hours. Tomorrow is just, tomorrow's one of those days, it'd be really, really nice out if it wasn't for the wind. It's going to be one of those days, so...
It's going to be very nice. I don't care what you say.
Well, hey, I don't mind the wind. I mean, if it's in the 60s...
Wind don't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Makes a softball travel farther.
Or the golf ball.
I don't think I'll be taking my bike out unless I'm riding with the wind at my back. So I'll ride somewhere and somebody will have to come pick me up and bring me back home.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right.
On.
So what do we on? You want to hit on a couple more ag topics here, Bridgette?
I do. So farm and ranch families from across the nation have been recognized through American Farm Bureau for helping to support food pantries and other community projects locally. And some of the statistics that came out of those recognitions are the fact that in 2023, last year, they were able to donate 31 million pounds of food, and they raised over $425,000 that go towards community projects. The top donations for food came out of the state of Florida. There, they were able to not only provide canned goods, and they focused on getting peanut butter supplies for those in need, but also they did an after the harvest run. So let's say that you're in a vegetable crop or even in your own garden, and once you get done, the machines can only pick so much. That we see that in sugar beet fields here in North Dakota. When you run a lifter through the field, sometimes some of the smaller sugar beets fall out. They don't get picked up and make it into the truck. Well, you can still go back in there and hand harvest. That fruit or vegetable is still very viable. And that type of material gets donated again to those food pantries so that they can continue to bring in fresh produce as well as vegetables to people. And that totaled up 22 million pounds of food just out of Florida. Michigan Farm Bureau took the top honors for raising $222,000. They did it with a lot of fundraising activities, and also the Michigan Farm Bureau family of companies really helped to contribute that to yield this impressive total. So great work being done on farmers, not just by raising food, but donating food and making sure that it gets to our local food banks and pantries everywhere. So thank you for that.
That's great. All right, there we go. So we'll take caller number 3 to get registered for your chance to win.
Brought to us by ATI of Fargo.
Yeah, 701-293-9000. Caller number 3 can get registered to win $1,000.
I'm calling right now.
All right, caller number 1. Sorry. And caller number 2, you just missed. And hello, caller. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Can I get your first name, please?
Jessica.
Jessica, your caller.
I hope she's not caller number 4.
3. All right, good job, Jessica. You're caller number 3. We will register you for your chance to win that $1,000. I'm sure you could use it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody can.
Right? No doubt. What would you use it for?
If you probably pay some bills.
There you go. Boring. There you go. Jessica, while you're on the line, we've got 4 tickets to the El Zagel Shrine Circus. Could you swing by the studio? Could you use them first off?
No.
No? All right. That's okay. We'll give them away later in the show then. Jessica, going to put you on a quick hold, and our producer, Addison, will get your information, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, cool, cool. Well, we got someone registered for $1,000.
Nice. Not bad. Not bad.
Woo-hoo.
I haven't even done my taxes yet, man. I need to do those.
Seriously?
Dude, I got 10 days.
Wow.
Why rush?
Wow.
I did mine right away. I wanted my money back. Even though I had to give some, I wanted whatever I was getting back to get back as soon as I could.
Yeah, we got
money back?
Lots of time.
Not
got
much.
Lots of
Not much.
schedules to do all sorts of fun
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, we haven't filed them yet.
So speaking of taxes, so there's some tax implications for farmers. So every year, the president sends a budget proposal to Congress for consideration, and the section that is dealing with how to pay for the budget is called the Green Book. Some things that have been 6 highlight points, you might say, that are being considered right now as far as taxes are concerned mean the following. One of them was imposing a capital gains tax on transfers either during life or after death, and that would be a $5 million exemption. Farmers also would need to know that the Section 1031, so we've known it as the 1031 exchange for property, that deferral will now be limited to a $500,000 versus what it has been in the past. And that was an exchange where if you got a certain amount of dollar or so you got a certain value of land, you could exchange somewhere else without paying a capital gains tax. And that brings us to capital gains on any amounts over $1 million would be taxed at 37% or 39.6. Okay, so why does that matter? We've talked so much about farm transitions and how we have those farmers who are trying to transition out of farming to the next generation. We know that in the next 15 years, 30% of farm acres are going to turn over to the next generation. If you sell all of your line of equipment and you now have that over $1 million, you would now be taxed at 37%. So it makes it hard for farmers to even retire. There are some cases where you may slowly sell off pieces of equipment so you don't have this lump sum of income all at one time in order to have to overcome capital gains tax. And don't worry, there's usually still plenty of debt to go along with that as well.
Right.
In fact, one of our listeners, Justin, do you remember the other day we were talking about the secondary machinery market, and you asked a question about the length of term on a combine purchase? Well, thanks to Larry, he was listening. I said I wasn't entirely sure and I didn't want to misspeak. Larry said it would typically be 5 to 7 years, or some will lease and then turn that unit back in on a trade-in for another. I'm sure that's a tidbit of information that we will talk about when the next time we have one of our guests on, like Greg Stedman with Starion Bank, when we do Farm Finance Insider, and that'll be the last Tuesday of the month. So we'll probably talk about that a little bit more when Greg joins us as well.
Yep, I think that'd be great. And hey, why don't we do another trivia thing? We're not still getting phone calls from the Jays thing, are we still?
Nope.
Okay. Great.
All right, cool. Well, why don't we do some Cheyenne Garden trivia brought to you by Cheyenne Gardens, just 10 minutes north of Fargo. All you got to do is be the first person to call in with the correct answer, and you'll win yourself a $10 certificate to Cheyenne Gardens that'll be valid on the 15th of April for about 2.5 months or so. Basically, when you go and pick up all your spring things for your garden. The trivia question for today, leaving y'all in suspense here, dramatic effect.
I can't wait.
Pure vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is made from a bean that is from the seed pod of what flower? So pure vanilla extract is made from a bean that is from the pod of which flower?
You want to put the answer in Slack there?
2. Oh, you guys don't know?
Jeez.
I have some ideas, but I'd like
I'm not here to
be
tell
wrong.
you if it's right or wrong.
Okay.
No kidding. I didn't know there was a flower like that.
Yes, indeed there is. So vanilla extract, the same stuff you use to cook with, is made from a bean that is from the pod of which flower? Is your Cheyenne Gardens trivia. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes shoe line.
Have you ever heard of that type of flower, Bridgette?
Not that particular one.
Okay.
But I'm maybe not terribly surprised. I am responding to a listener whose suggestion, Dean, after we played that God Made a Farm Her, that maybe Dean can be on the first episode of Farmer Needs a Husband. So I'm just sending your resume and credentials out to get that taken care of.
All right.
Maybe they farm by a lake.
Bonus.
They might have a lake on their farm.
They might.
Or
a pond.
Yeah, probably a little
Fish
water
farmer.
reservoir.
Yeah.
Fish farmers.
There you go.
Data tilapia farmer.
All right, we've got a caller on line 1 here. Caller, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Can I get your first name, please? All right, we dropped on. All right. Hello, caller. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Can I get your first name, please?
Twyla.
Say that again?
Twyla.
Twyla, do you have an answer for our trivia question?
Is it orchid?
Justin?
I mean, what kind of orchid?
Oh, God. Hang on a second here.
It's in the name.
Yeah, come on. We're going to get it's a vanilla orchid. Yeah, it's a vanilla orchid.
Wow,
yeah. Twyla, congratulations. We also have some El Zagel Shrine Circus tickets. Could you use those for this weekend?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, not a problem. We're going to put you on hold, and we will have our producer, Addison, get some more information from you on how to pick up your gift certificate.
Thank you.
All right, you bet.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right.
Good
And we'll
answer.
do more Cheyenne Gardens trivia next week, Monday through Friday. We have a whole nother week of it. You still have 5 or 6 more opportunities to win a $10 gift card to Cheyenne Gardens.
So vanilla orchid. So my question is, can you grow that in your garden?
Of course you could.
Okay. Is our climate?
So
you can grow anything. It's just going to die at some point.
Maybe not, because you're right about our growth zone. We may or may not be the perfect spot for that particular orchid, right? Because you have a hardiness zone and you have orchids that are designed to grow better in our colder climate or overwinter better. I don't know about a vanilla one. When I said I've heard of the orchid, but I've not specifically heard of a vanilla orchid, bet you could grow it indoors as long as it was in the south window with plenty of sunshine. That's my guess. Orchids like sun and they like hot. So put it like by the register and mist it.
All right. Well, we got one more break, and then when we come back, we will give you a chance to win these El Zagel Shrine Circus tickets. More on that, and we'll cover a few more ag topics. We'll run down a recap of the weather. All that coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. It does feel like a zoo atmosphere today, doesn't it? Is it because it's Friday, or what do you think? I mean,
all those goats running amok in Italy. That's the whole problem right there.
Man.
No.
That's a good point. You had to bring it up. We had the whole board shut down, and you just had to bring it up. So,
Justin has a goat counter versus a Bridgette stop it counter. I'm losing today.
8-2.
8-2.
8-2. So we've got. We'll take the caller number 1 if you would like to go to the El Zagel Shrine Circus. I got a pack of 4 tickets to give away here. Here's the catch. You've got to get to the studio by 4 o'clock today. If you can't get here to the studio by 4 o'clock today, again, we're right next to Thunder Road, then, don't bother. But, all right, caller number 1, what's your first name?
I'm Alan.
What's that? Say that again?
My name's Alan. We're both.
Oh, hey, Alan, we've got a pack of 4 tickets. Can you get down to the studio here by 4 o'clock today to pick them up?
Should be able to.
Okay. All right. We will put you on hold here, Alan, and our producer, Addison, he'll take care of that for you. Okay. 1 sec.
Okay.
All righty. All right. So,
cool. What else do we have to give away?
That's it. I mean, these are,
it?
That's, I think that's the last thing we've got. So, Why, were you looking for a freebie there, Justin, or?
No, I thought we listed off more things than that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we had tickets. We got the chance.
We had tickets, Jay's thing, trivia,
and then your garden trivia.
Bridgette,
over
here.
Bridgette, what do you got?
Okay, me.
We're giving away you.
We're giving.
No.
How does somebody win?
So,
asking for a friend.
So the Here We Grow kickoff is already started. We're going to be custom farming 20 acres of corn north of Glendon, Minnesota. And I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors. And I have been in the background. I've been booking our sponsors to be on air with us coming up very soon. Thank you to Steffes Group, the Steffes Auctioneers, Dakota Bank, North Dakota State Services, Dairyland Seed, Teresa over at Red Wing Shoes, big shout out to her. She does a fantastic job for not only this project, but also our Red Wing shoe line at 701-293-9000, the Red River Retention Authority, and Ellingson Drainage. A couple of these folks are coming back from last year. Thanks for being a part of what we do. We really appreciate you helping us teach, educate, and literally grow our corn. And our charity this year will be North Dakota Farm Rescue. Looking forward to having them on board as well.
It's going to be a fun trip.
Nice.
Looking forward to growing some kern.
Yes. Oh, and I should say Gowan Company. Gowan has also joined this lineup. In fact, we'll be talking with Marsha very soon from Gowan Company. There's so many differences in growing soybeans to growing corn. Marsha has a background in not only ag chem, but also in production ag because of her years of service as an agronomist. So we'll get to debate those differences in growing seed types, etc., when we have Marsha join us in studio one day next week.
Right. And we got
looking forward to it.
Yeah, we got Trucker Al on line too. Al, how are you doing this afternoon? Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus.
I'm good. Coming back from Wisconsin there, so yeah, I'm doing good here. So you talk about vanilla. What's the true difference between imitation vanilla and the pure vanilla I bring back from Mexico?
Ooh.
I'm not sure about the imitation stuff, but let's see here. I believe for it to be pure vanilla extract, it must be at least 35% alcohol with a minimum of 100 grams of vanilla beans per liter. I think that's the definition.
And I think the extract means that it's less than that by definition, but also it doesn't necessarily have the vanilla bean. It can have a vanilla flavoring to it, but it's just not produced the same way as my guess.
The artificial stuff is.
Yeah.
So the imitation vanilla that you buy at the store is just fake. It's not real. It's just vanilla flavoring.
It's weaker. It's a vanilla flavoring and it's weaker. But if you'd like to make your own, I do it at home too, where you just put vanilla beans in a jar with vodka, and pretty soon you got what you need.
Or I could just bring you a bottle of real vanilla over.
Sure, Al. That sounds awesome. But I'll be honest. People wonder why the whipped cream tastes so good. It might be the vodka. I'm just saying.
And I bring back both dark and light or clear vanilla from Mexico. So.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Well, while you go through Wisconsin, Al, next time, I know Justin and I would love some spotted cow, and I think Bridgette might partake in that too.
Okay.
Y'all are just into bootlegging.
Yeah.
And then did you get my message about your post holes?
No.
Our what?
Oh, you're going to do post holes this summer, right?
We're going to have to put up some posts for our field, but I don't think we've got to drill holes. We'll just use a post hole hammer to hammer them in.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'll hook you up.
Nothing that big.
Next time I go there.
All right.
And some fresh cheese curds.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Wow. Thank you, Al.
Okay, guys.
Al, drive safe, buddy. Thank you, man.
Yeah, bye.
Have a great weekend. All right. So
we're going to owe Al big for that, by the way, you guys.
Oh, we will.
Yeah. Bring your checkbooks.
But nothing beats spotted cow. I'm not a real big beer drinker, but man, that stuff is so. That and Yingling.
It's good.
That and Yingling. Oh, you can't beat both of those on a hot summer day. Feet in the pool, spotted cow in hand. I'm all right. Now I'm looking forward to summer. Yeah, regular cow, Betsy out back next to the pool. Absolutely.
Well, I think it's about your weekend. We could probably just dip out of here a little early, I'm sure.
When you say we, which one of us?
Everybody.
Is
yeah, what's this we stuff?
All of us.
We've only.
I think we could get away with a minute and a half of just dead air.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure JT, if he's listening, he'll be. Yeah. Oh, he just told me. He just told me we're number one, so I think that means that's a big no.
We'll just plug in a couple extra ads, and then we're good to go. Look at that. All right. How about instead of that, we just do a rundown on the forecast, Dean?
Okay, that was the wrong.
We should.
There we go. No, we're looking at a beautiful afternoon out there today, with mainly sunny skies, some high clouds coming into the area. We have southeast winds right now blowing about 10 to 20, with highs today low to mid 60s. We're at 60. Let's see, 60. What do you think we are right now, Justin?
66 times.
60 degrees, and that's out at the airport. I'm sure it's about 62 by now. Should make it up again. Low to mid 60s across the entire area. Just a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. And then as we head into tonight, a few clouds with lows down into the mid to upper 30s. Windy conditions for tomorrow. Hang on to your hat. Low 60s. Rain comes into the area on Sunday. Might even be mixed in with a little wet snow, and temperatures only in the 40s.
No.
Want to thank you for joining us at Weather and Ag in Focus. Want to wish everybody a great weekend. We'll be back here on Monday. Take care.